Welcome everyone to the next Let's Play, and this time it's going to be a good one. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some new stuff, different things, and PlayStation 2 things. Lots of PlayStation 2 things. Here we are. Okay, I'm a huge sucker for alternate history. Hence, my very bad decision to ever buy Turning Point. One of the worst games I've ever played. And it wasn't so much that it was a bad game, it was just so average, and there was no story. But, yeah, I've been suckered in on a couple of them. But, like, this game, Wolfenstein The New Order, heck, just Wolfenstein in general. You know, games like that where it's like a what if. You know, what if the Germans won? What if there was a different outcome in a war? Or a war ended differently? What would be the consequences of it? Like, Fallout is even a different route through history. That's why I love Fallout so much. And this game pretty much is like if Gundam had a great grandfather, and mechs appeared at the end of World War II, as you can see there. Now, I know this audio's skipping a bit, but it's the video. I think it's my disc. Again, I'm kind of running this through an emulator, but it's on an actual Ring of Red disc. So there's a little herky-jerkiness, and when a video starts up or a song, it kind of and then it goes, and it's fine. So I've got it as good as I can get it, and not much else I can do with that. But we are ready to go. We're gonna turn our vibration on. This is awesome, and we're gonna get into this. So, let me get a little backdrop, and we'll get into the story. So, instead of the U.S. nuking Japan, or they may have been nuked, I'm not sure. It doesn't say in the story too much. Japan didn't surrender, regardless. And war broke out in Japan. Now, I think there's a little bit more backstory to it. Again, I don't have the instruction manual, so I don't know right off. Well, let's just play. Let's give you kind of a preview of what the combat's going to be like. And I can kind of see how it's going to do. Okay, yeah. A little jerking at the beginning, but then it's fine. And this game does suffer from slowdown, so it's not my computer that can't handle it. This game does have slowdown. Like that's just the game. Oh, that guy's cool. Anyways, yeah, the mechs dance. So the Allies essentially, the Western Allies, Britain and the U.S., win against Germany. They conquer Berlin. So the Soviets were more focused with Japan. Like, the Japanese were more hitting the Soviets than the Germans were. That leads to the Soviets invading Japan because Japan doesn't surrender. So the war goes into 1946, and okay, I can't deal with that. And it'll talk about it a little bit in the story, but essentially, instead of there being a North and South Korea, there's a North and South Japan. And then there was a Japanese war. And instead of there being, you know, the the Korean War, there's a Japanese war. So Japan is the hot zone of the Cold War. There's the Soviet-controlled North Japan, the democratic, U.S.-controlled, or allied South Japan, NATO-controlled South Japan, and that's where our story picks up. And we play as this guy with white hair, because you're going to have a Japanese protagonist with white hair. It's and now we're good. You know what? I'm going to play with one little thing. I've been trying to not do this while I'm recording, but I'm going to turn up the latency just a bit on the audio. Okay. The year was 1946, with Japan's defiance of the Potsdam Conference ultimatum and its call for absolute resistance to the Greater Asian War of World War II entered its final chapter. The conflict sparked by a brutal invasion came to an end after massive civilian casualties and the Soviets' entry into the fray. Oh, the audio's going much better this time around. Last time it was jerking all over the place. The resulting division of the country, once called Japan by the occupying Allied forces, came to reflect the often uneasy relations that existed among those powers and gave rise to countless human tragedies. In 1950, the yearning for reunification of the North and South combined with the issue of economic disparity and the unresolved question of reparation to the continent broke the thin mantle of peace. Again, the Korean War. And without any formal declaration of or intent, the Japan War raged for over 4 years, once again laying the archipelago to waste. I can say big words. The peace agreement at the end of those 4 years became a covert battleground of international alliances and communist power brokering, failing to provide any resolution for the strife-torn nation. The dream of reunification spoken on both sides of the north-south border was left as a question mark, and a lot of divided people. The 10 years passed. It was 1964. It would be a year that I would remember with terrible clarity. You have to read that last part fast because it just cuts it off. Oh yeah, the audio's going much better this time around. I've had to re-record this like 3 times because it just keeps going, and then it's, yeah, there's a little slowdown here and there. Like, see, like I said, that. I think it's a combination of the disc and the music and whatnot. Okay, but this is going much better than I did have it. Greetings. Greetings all. I am Christoph Schwingen, the project leader. So, Germany is now an allied nation, fully. So you will see many Germans as allied forces. You are both here because you have been selected for Komitsu Industrial's test piloting program. We will be participating in the evaluation of next generation AFWs for the Southern Japanese forces. AFWs are armored fighting walkers, not tanks. Not armored fighting tanks or whatever, it's armored fighting walkers. Masami von Weizsäcker. Present. You will be evaluating vehicle type 1. It's a Komitsu prototype. 100% made in Japan. A domestic AFW, huh? Must be a solid model. There are no backup models. Take good care of it. Trust me, alright? I'm a professional. Ryoko Minikawa. Present. You will be piloting the Type 2. This van was a joint effort by Komitsu and Neighborland. I can handle anything. What I really want is to join up. Alright. Colonel, would you like to take over from here? This guy looks like he's Mexican, I swear. Of course! And listen up, both of you. I am Colonel Rodriguez, and I am in charge of running the squadron. Yep, that guy's Mexican. And you notice he's wearing very German clothing. We'll start you two off by testing the new targeting and firing system. The vehicles need some warming up, and we'll use a practice ammunition. Use a practice ammunition for the first set. This game has very, very good English. Pay attention to Pay special attention to ammunition loading and the timing of the firing during your evaluation. Immediately after we complete testing, you will take both 1 and 2 into mock combat. The purpose is to test how well the cannons fire over different distances. I've left this till the end, but we also have a special consultant who is more qualified than anyone else to assist us. She is here from Neighborland, Komitsu Industries' German partner in the AFW development program. They're all yours. Thank you. You can call me Matilda. My field is AFW procurement and maintenance. We'll probably be seeing quite a lot of each other. But for now, that's all. That's about it. God, get my head in this. Thank you. We'll go over the basic navigational controls and firing techniques on the training field. Deploy when ready. So she's our liaison. This is the operation room. You can confirm the objective of the operation. Today, both of you will be testing the firing system using ammunition. Then engage in simulated combat in your respective AFWs. You'll need to get used to the feel of the machines before anything else. Operate the vehicles according to instructions. Got it? Fuji Proving Ground Weapons Hangar. Weizsäcker! What can I do for you, Colonel? You know the AFW firing method by heart, am I correct? Should I? Did you read the combat manual? Colonel, I've got my hands full adjusting this thing right now. With all due respect, what do you want? Alright, listen. Listen good. The AFW won't fire until the load gauge is full and the fire light goes on. Better make sure you remember that. Of course I remember. You drilled it into my head, if I'm not mistaken. I don't get itchy trigger fingers like some rookie. Colonel, stop treating me like a newbie, will you? Alright then. I expect good results. Don't disappoint me. Okay. So this is the operation room. You can confirm the objective of the operation. This is the information room. You can observe detailed data and seek assistance. This is the record room. You can save the game on the memory card, and then you go to sortie to launch a mission. So we're going to save. I'm going to save this one. Save complete. Okay, back it up. So information. Unit info. So Type 1. This is what I love about this. Type 1 has the 88mm L56 cannon. Essentially, it has the Tiger 1's gun. And it has a 7.92mm machine gun. So it has an MG34 submachine gun and the 88mm cannon. So, and his command abilities will go up as he has... The command ability is an interesting thing. The number of troops, and I'll explain the troops later, but as long as you have those under your command, they will get better under his command. So he will actually become better at making his troops better as long as he has other troops in his thing. So now we can take a look at my Panther tank. Actually, this is more like a walking Panzer. Well, it's more like a walking Panther, yeah. But you can see the Tiger markings on it and everything. I'd almost say this is like a Tiger 1. Yeah, it's more like a Tiger 1 with legs. So that's all we have for units. Memoirs, nah. Combat manual, ah. This is where you get information about all the people and everything. Test pilot for Kimitsu Industries, 22 years old. Real name is Masami von Weizsäcker, child of a German father and Japanese mother, of course. And it gives him white hair. Born in Japan, has no knowledge of Germany. Lacking in practical experience, his skill as an AFW pilot led Kimitsu Industries to recruit him as a test pilot. He currently pilots an AFW. Ryoko. Full name is Ryoko Minakawa. Kimitsu Industries test pilot, 19 years old. Japanese born in the midst of the Greater Asian War. She is estranged from her father at a very young age. After the death of her mother, she met Shringen and became connected with Kimitsu Industries. Her tongue is sharp and she tends to leave a cold impression. She currently pilots an AFW. Unit Commander, 45 years old. Full name is Christoph Shringen, responsible for the AFW division at Kimitsu Industries. He also has been entrusted with complete control of all South Japan military matters. His military association with Rodriguez goes back to World War II. Combat and Techniques instructor for the unit, 40 years old. A German, no he's not. He was banished from his country for committing war crimes and fled to Japan. I wonder why. After serving as the instructor at the Fuji Military Academy, he took up his current post at Kimitsu Industries. He has experienced AFW combat in a major battle. So he's an old school AFW pilot. Unit Administration Director, 32 years old, a German sent to Kimitsu Industries from Naval Line, I don't know what that means, in Germany. Both companies are working side by side in AFW R&D, oversees AFW provisions and repairs, as well as unit information management. What's AFW-1? World War II significantly altered the face of the battlefield. Reliance on trenches characterized the defensive nature of past warfare, but the need for mobility gave rise to a form of combat which emphasized offense. AFW, Armored Fighting Walker, hey, I got it right, I was kind of guessing, was created to meet the demands of this new age. Its most defining characteristic is the ability to traverse rough terrain with the walker's legs. Essentially, they built this to traverse mountainous terrain and such. That was actually a problem in Korea. It was so mountainous that tanks were having problems maneuvering around. Germany was the first power to introduce the weapon into the battlefield during World War II. By 1939, plans for research and development of the four-leg AFW Panzerkrieg II, referred to in German as the Ant, began to be promoted. Initial AFW design was carried out by, I guess it's supposed to be Porsche and Heinkel. Heinschel, I think it's Heinschel. Yeah, it's supposed to be Porsche and Heinkel. They were two big tank developers. But they can't use the actual names because Porsche's the name of a car company, and Heinzel, they're changing the names a bit. But its complex leg joint design halted progress, and the early project plans suffered major setbacks. An early prototype was completed in September of 42, and this was followed by the unit's mass production in July 43, in time for the introduction to the Battle of Kursk, which is pointless because Kursk is all flat land. The AFW's climbing ability and mobility were expected to be put in good use in the area's hilly terrain. Kursk was not hilly! But early mishaps were common, and when retreating from the advancing Soviet forces, it was used as a stationary shield. The AFW went largely unused in Europe due to a lack of terrain suitable for its deployment. It would work better in Italy. Japan, however, with its myriad of mountainous regions and limited space, was ideal for the AFW's reappearance. Like I said, English. Towards the close of the Greater Asian War, the AFW was deployed in fierce battles against unified forces. It proved its worth during the Japan War as the primary weapon of both the North and South forces, and has become the standard weapon in ground warfare. The AFW was created to serve as the primary weapon of terrain warfare. Its superior balance of armor, firepower, and mobility make it capable of being utilized in a variety of situations. So does the Sherman. Various trial and error experiments and improvements have made the AFW the pinnacle of AFW deployment or development technology, and is undisputed as the king of terrain combat. Okay, we don't need to look at any of that. Alright, everybody, you ready to rock? Fuji Proving Ground Weapons Hangar. Hey! You talking to me? I've heard about you. I heard you're one of the best students at Fuji. A real ace pilot, huh? So they say. An ace test pilot? What are you saying? There's a big difference between the field and testing range. I hope you're prepared to find out. Yeah, Ryoka is very cold. And that's putting it lightly. Shooting training, Fuji. In a minute, you will be evaluated on your marksmanship. Before we start live fire practice, let me explain a few things about AFW combat. These few pieces of information could be the difference between survival and death on the field for a pilot. Though I hardly need to stress that for a class of overachievers like yourselves. Tutorial time! Victor condition, target acquired. Lost condition, going over the day 1 1900 time limit. Mission start. Okay, so Ryoko's going to stay put. Let's bring you up to date on team movement and attack procedure. The team is represented by a marker on the map. Remember that a team cannot be given action commands until it is that team's turn in the rotation. When a squad's turn comes, we say that the squad is on hand. No need for me to repeat myself, but squadrons that are not on hand cannot be made to move or attack. Place the cursor on a team that is on hand and enter, and its allowed fields of movement and attack range are displayed. The blue square is allowable field of movement. The yellow square indicates the attack range. Note that the attack range cannot be added to the field of movement. You can move and attack in the same turn. Place the cursor on the designated square, then enter. The action menu is displayed. A few words about that menu. Attacking is an option only when you have an enemy team to a target within range. Similarly, recovery can be selected unless there is damage to the AFW or the soldiers. Select attack in the action menu. Team's attack range comes up on display. A crosshair will appear on enemy teams within the range of attack. Enter to begin firing on a selected enemy team. In the field, starting distance is determined by how far away our teams are from the enemy teams in the game plan. Attacking from an adjoining square means short range starting distance, whereas an assault launch from a diagonally placed square compromises an intermediate starting distance. And attacking greater than 2 squares translates into a long starting distance. At the present, our attack range falls short of launching from a long-range attack. Each AFW model has a strong and a weak distance when it comes to range of attack. Light AFW short range, AFW medium range, anti-AFW close range combat, 4-leg AFW long range, their artillery. These optimum distances become clear during combat, and AFW's attack power varies radically depending on target distance. This means that creating combat situations where each team can attack at its optimum distance is a large part of the battle strategy. That's it for deployment and attack briefing. Do you need to go over this again? No. Alright, so we can move. We're going to move here, because AFWs are still medium range. And we're going to attack. Oh, it's not glitching on that screen anymore. It used to herk and jerk like crazy. Now, it might do it a little bit here. Okay, now it's done. So I'll only do it at the beginning and then we're good. So, this is our AFW. And this is the combat screen. Initiate battle movement. Remember what we taught, and winning should be easy. I can't skip this, so wait. So, let's go over a few things. In the top left, you have a weapon bar and a leg bar. Both can be damaged in combat. And if they are damaged in combat, you cannot use them to their best effectiveness. Essentially, if your legs get damaged, you can't move forwards and backwards. If your weapon gets damaged, it takes longer to reload. Next to that is 300. That's your hit points. The little grid square below that is where you command your troops from, and it shows their position in relation to your mech. We'll go over that when I get troops in. The little gauge that's wobbling back and forth looks like an RPM gauge. Is your loader gauge. When that fills up, you can fire your primary weapon. As it will show from the shell to the right of it, in the loading position, we'll go to the check mark, meaning it is loaded. The bullet in the bottom of that is how many special rounds you have equipped. Different soldier units come with different specialty rounds they'll carry with them to load into your AFW. The star is how many special attacks that you have ready to go. Those are also limited by the pilot and dependent upon the pilot who has them. And next to that is your starting accuracy gauge. The enemy team has all of that stuff. In the middle, you have a timer. The battle lasts for so much time, usually about 10 clicks of the meter. It's a weird thing. It's like 100 seconds. So you get like a minute and a half to win, to do actions. Below that, it shows you your average distance. You know, medium range, short range, close range, long range. Below that is a distance bar between me, the blue, and the enemy, red, so you can see how close you're moving. You know, you can run from combat by constantly reversing out, and you can actually turn around and get the heck out of there. So sometimes running is worth doing. So we have our commands down here. We got your cannon. Cannon is not fully armed. Fire when the firing lamp is lit. No enemy soldiers. You can fire on soldiers, and I can move my soldiers. And then here's your special rounds and pilot abilities. I think I can. Yeah, I can change viewing angles by clicking on and off that. Okay. As you can see, our round is ready to go. So we will go into firing mode. Enter firing stance. Now, it doesn't matter on how this thing looks. You just gotta aim and let the percentage goes up. Now let's wait for about 75 on this. And shabams! Also, your guns on these mechs when they are... Oh, we're backing up. No, wait, he's trying to run away. Move forward. Depending on the range of your guns, will depend upon how much damage they're going to do. So even if I was at close range with this gun, it wouldn't do as much damage as if I was at medium range. So we get one or two good more hits in this thing, and we're going to have it. So I like to wait for about 75%. And there's a lot more strategy. Oh, dang! 2 shots. Usually it takes me about 3. But, destroy the target! Take it out of Vesica! I did! What are you yelling at me for? I blew it in half! With my freaking 88! So, what was I saying? Crap. Oh yeah. There's also a kind of risk-reward system to that. Yeah, you can wait longer, but the enemy, if they go into firing stance, they may fire first. If they hit you, it knocks your accuracy down. But you can also do that to them. And the game doesn't cheat with that either. You can smack an AFW right when they do that, and the AI will usually get trigger happy after that and just fire, and they don't have any kind of accuracy, they miss most of the time. Alright, now let's see you and Ryoko try a mock combat. Roger. Roger, what's your vector, Victor? Okay, was it Masami? Sorry, I don't think I ever caught your full name. The name is Vesiger. Don't call me Masami, okay? It's my Japanese name. It just doesn't feel like it's mine. But Masami is your given name, isn't it? I don't like the way it sounds. Just don't call me that. Okay, okay, I'll go with Waziker. But it's kind of long. Not if I call you Way. As long as it's not Masami. I don't care what you call me. Because I'm awesome. Next, we look at rotation and terrain. When a team concludes its action, the standby interval kicks in. The standby interval refers to the waiting period until the team is on hand again. The more complex the action performed, the longer the waiting period. If you compare the two of the possible actions, standby on the spot and recuperate after a move, the simpler action, in this case standby, results in a shorter waiting period for the team. The time for each team's coming turn is displayed in the upper right. The O indicates whether it's night or daytime. The upper left is information on the currently selected terrain. And yes, night and daytime weather does affect your accuracy and view range and everything. The terrain information contains terrain name, additional time value, and terrain level. The additional time value indicates the terrain's surface condition. The greater the value, the longer the team's standby interval until the next turn. The terrain level refers to the elevation of the land. Your view will always be restricted by the terrain at a higher point than where you are presently located. In other words, you will not be able to see what is on the other side of a level 3 mountain from a level 1 plane. The squares that are within your range of vision appear brighter, and you can access information on the enemy teams located in those squares. That's everything you need to know on this subject. Need me to start over? No! How about you, woman?
Way, do you copy?
Way here.
You've never seen combat. How do you expect to keep up with me?
I can keep up with you. What matters is how fast and precise I can pilot this thing, and I won't lose. You can count on that.
Oh, really?
Pretty sure of yourself, huh? I'm gonna beat her tail. Besides, I got the land advantage, so I get a little defense boost. Oh, I'm hearing fireworks. Why am I hearing fireworks? Alright.
Mock battle or not, I'm not going to hold back.
Oh, she's gonna start shooting already. Oh, look out! I don't know what her AFW is supposed to resemble. I think if I see the cannon, I might be able to find out. Let's take a couple steps forward, get our accuracy up. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, timing on getting this thing to kick in before the enemy person is everything. You see, she's got her firing stance up. We're going to fire. Oh, it fell short. God dang it. That never happened in target practice. Not much I can do. I'm going to try and move forward and throw her aim off because it'll actually knock her aim down. Oh, that hurt! Okay, stop. Ready? Let's go! I'm going to freaking lay you out this time. Come on, get in firing stance. Get into it. Get into it. There you go. BAM! In your face! That's gonna throw her aim off bad. So now I really don't have to worry about it. And she still freaking hits me. What the frig? That doesn't make any sense. Throw her aim off that much. Well, it's all percentage based, so I tried. I think it's the worst I've ever done against her this early on. Charge it up. Let's get up to 75. Fire! Am I gonna hit? Oh! Man, I'm having the worst luck in this. Of course, you know, it's recording curse. If I could run up and punch her. Oof! Good lord! Now, every AFW in this game has its good and bad. My AFW is good against other AFWs. Her AFW is actually good against infantry. BAM! There, see, I got one more shot off. Playing that timer to its fullest. Gosh, she beat the crap out of me. But playing that timer at the top to its fullest and getting as many shots as you can off is the key to everything. Great! The transmission's so stiff it's a joke. Can't run too well in this thing either. Cutting edge my butt. Yeah, let's just go for another attack. Dang, I probably should have moved. Eh. I think I get better recovery on this anyways. Let's just keep fighting. Nah, I won't be able to punch her because close combat can actually be the difference between life and death. And you can't punch in your mechs. It's freaking awesome. The medium AFW, which is what I'm piloting, can punch, but it's not good at it. And she can punch back as well. So I don't want to go too nuts with it. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Fire! Hit her, please! Yes! I'll throw her aim off. Now she's gonna reset it. Usually it knocks it down to around 40% or so. Yeah, she finally derped a shot! Am I charged up? Nope. Now I'm way charged up before her. Now this next shot, I'm going to let it ride really long, just wait for her to go into fighting stance. I'll have a nice, accurate shot to bust her in the face with. Okay, she's loaded up. Come on, go into fighting stance. Go into shooting stance. And go! Yeah, the higher up your percentage gauge goes, the slower it recharges. Or slower it keeps climbing. So once you hit 70, it slows down. Once you hit 80, it slows down even more. Then 90. Haha! See? This is how that last fight should have gone. She freaking screwed me over. Alright, we'll do it again. Actually, if I fire now, I can probably get another shot off, but I want to chance it. Come on, go into fighting stance. Load it up. Jump into it. Good accuracy now. See how slow it's going? Now that will increase over time anyways. Shabams! You won! You're better than I thought. Yeah. Beat your tail, woman! Trying to get over on me. You think you are. Dang! This is definitely not what I expected. I wouldn't throw a match for you. I don't expect you to do it either. You're more experience. Alright, that's it for today's performance evaluation. Good job, both of you. You'll do this again tomorrow, but with different variables. Take the vehicles into the maintenance yard. Okay. Alright. Yeah, baby! Mission complete! 20 success experiences. Yeah, we're almost level 2. Yeah, leveling up in this game is everything. And I kind of want Weisiger to really level up, because he gets so goddamn powerful. Ryoko, Weisiger, good job, both of you. These are the current results. Shaboom. However, you seem to have forgotten that this is an evaluation exercise, not an opportunity to settle scores. Your personal feelings are beside the point. Hey, Colonel, hold on a sec. She's the one that... I will not listen to excuses! Return to your quarters, both of you, and wait for the next exercise. I expect better conduct next time. Dismissed! Yes, sir. Dang it. What the heck did they think they were doing? Anything's the matter, Colonel? Have those two already damaged the prototypes? No, the vehicles are fine. It's the people piloting that need fixing. Those two are... Sorry to interrupt, Colonel, but I noticed that you're new test pilots. Have deft command of the machines. Very impressive. Hey, what are you doing in here? We really can't have everyone wandering into restricted access sections, you know. I apologize, sir. I've come... I have some interest in the directions of next generation AFWs you're taking, you see. Oh, for... What next? A public viewing? Now that guy's pretty cool. Okay, let's get to the next save point and we'll save it. That guy's actually the main character. He's the one telling the story. That's his glasses and his book. The ruling military standard for ground combat of the time was a catless combat vehicle called the AFW. Its strength lay in its ability to navigate uneven terrain. The AFW compensated for its significant surface area with its extreme mobility. and those traits lent themselves all too well to the mountainous terrain and small landmass which characterized the Japanese landscape. The technology transfer that Japan received from Germany during their World War II alliance had given Japan enough of a knowledge base to start its own AFW development program. As a result, AFWs had already become a primary offensive weapon for both the North and South at the time of the Japan War. Imported AFW models also came into use after the restoration of sovereign rule to augment the existing domestic models. In particular, GMI Inc. of the United States and German Nabelline and Komatsu Industries of South Japan were considered to be some of the best R&D firms of AFW technology. You are not saying that General Motors is one of the best. They can't even build a frickin' Camaro right. Get out of here. You will now be briefed on your mission. I've gone over both of your evaluation reports on your shooting training. They've provided some valuable information. Good work. I've got to hand it to you. Didn't expect to be beaten. Predictable outcome, I'd say. Type 3 will finally be joining you today for a demonstration. Type 3. I'd seen it all during the testing. 3 is the top-of-the-line model from Nibelheim. Nibelheim? Yeah. I had a hand in its development, as a matter of fact. Final adjustments took longer than they expected, and it only received a go-ahead for performance evaluation today. Looks a little fragile. Looks can be deceiving. 3's assault capabilities far outrank both 1 and 2's. Scary thought. Anyway, what about our mission? Of course. Carry on, Colonel. Yes, sir. Listen up, both of you. It's time you had a taste of real combat. Today, you and Type 3 will engage each other under combat conditions. Actual combat? It's another mock-up, just more intense. All units will be armed with training ammunition. Close combat is out of bounds in order to safeguard the vehicles. Who will be piloting Type 3? Shinji Kirishima, one of Nibelheim's own pilots. He's also a former Southern Japanese Forces man. He should be here by now. What's taking him so long? Kano, 3 is already out on the training field. What? Both of you, prepare to deploy. Don't let Kirishima warm up before you. Alright, so that's enough of that. We'll get some more everything going on here. Alright. Guys, I appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning in. Dang, I forgot to get the shout out. I started this LP because Jack Saw Jack and Honky Kong. If you haven't checked out their channels, go check them out. They do really good stuff. They're pretty entertaining to watch too. They've been doing Super Robot Wars games and MS Saga, which I also plan on doing in the near future. So go check them out. They got some cool stuff, and I'm going to recommend this to them as well. But this game, I've only seen one other person doing an LP of this and doing it somewhat right. But everyone else I've watched, I'm sitting here like screaming at the screen going, God dang it, will you move your freaking mech? Why aren't you doing something? There's always something you can be doing, squeezing every little bit of damage out of a battle. So, until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.